Put the fork down,
We start that gym membership and stop showing up in February.
gluttons. That's why I feel like the New Year, New Me stuff is like, I'm not really on board with it usually because I'm like, you could put the fork down yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have went to the gym December. You don't have to wait until January. Like you could just start now. There's nothing stopping you. But you know, whatever works. Anyway. All right, and we're recording again. Ken, it's the first recording of the year, and we are off to a horrible start. It's 10 o'clock at night. I've been asleep for the past couple hours. How about you?
I just woke up from a nap. I didn't plan on it though. I was on the couch watching a little TV and then kind of just zonked out. It was nice though.
It's a nice way to start the year. I'm not even pretend like I have energy. My child has zapped the energy from me. My night did not go as planned, but we're here because consistency over everything.
That's right.
So way to start the new year being consistent.
Happy New Year, by the way. You got maybe another day out of me until I stop saying it. I am not the person that goes until January 28th talking about Happy New Year. Like, get over it.
No, I guess if I didn't see somebody until February.
Oh, really?
Would I still say Happy New Year on like February 1st? Like, I don't think so. What's up? What's going on? So
you get a nice 3 to 5 days out of me. It's about it. After that, I get it. It's a new year. Let's move. Let's keep it moving.
Well, it's the 3rd, so we're gonna wish Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome to Products of Circumstance. We're still here. Thank God, doing this thing. I'm Fenton Joseph. That's Ken Skeen, and this is Products of Circumstance podcast. We discuss mental health and mindset matters through the lens of Black men. The show is unscripted, unfiltered, and mostly unedited. We choose our topics randomly. Ken's going to tell us what we're going to talk about in a second. First show of the year. I know it's going to be a great topic. But first, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share with somebody who's on their personal development journey. And I'll just say, because it's a new year, I'm not typically a new year, new me type of person. However, this year I have been inspired mostly by Ken whooping my butt in a Biggest Loser weight loss challenge to actually make some changes this year. So, it is a good time if you think about it to just like kind of reset and just have a demarcation point to be like, here's what I was doing in last year, and now you got the fresh start. So I'm not a New Year's person, but I'm taking advantage of the opportunity to start fresh for the year. So
you're not joining a gym membership or anything, right?
Nah, I'm just putting the fork down. Put the fork down.
We start that gym membership and stop showing up in February.
Gluttons. That's why I feel like the New Year, New Me stuff is like, I'm not really on board with it usually because I'm like, you could put the fork down yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have went to the gym December. You don't have to wait until January. Like you could just start now. There's nothing stopping you. But whatever works. Anyway, what are we talking about today, man?
Well, you started already, but I kid you not, man. I was at the barbershop today and it came to, I text myself. That's how I journal sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? New year. It's brand new year, the 3rd. I was saying we talk about reflection. I wanted to reflect on the things that you and I have gone through in the past years. So even in my text message, I wrote, ask Fenton about, let's bring up the whole, Olive Branch Digital. You got the Essentials plan going now. You launched that. Just had a new baby. That's why you look half asleep right now. Because you have a new baby in the household.
So what? Well,
I was... Go ahead. Reflect a little bit.
All right, I'll reflect. I'm actually surprised that I'm even interested in talking about reflection because I'm really trying to get away from everything that happened in 2023. So you're trying to go back.
Nope.
But I will say, the website Essentials thing, since you talked about it, that was hard that was probably one of the hardest things I've done in a while. And, you know, Website Essentials is just a service that I have for my website business that I rolled out. Having a new baby forced me to really think about how I was going to run my business differently, because it takes a lot of time and effort to sit down and build websites. And I'm like, I got a baby coming. I can't be sitting here and doing all this website stuff. And, you know, I have a developer that I work with on a regular basis. But at the end of the day, it's still just a lot of time. So I was like, you know what? I need to rejigger my whole business. I need to just reimagine what Olive Branch Digital is. And I said to myself, if I can create a product that's low, you know, that it doesn't take a lot of time for me to build this stuff, maybe I can outsource it. You know, uses automation, you know, uses AI, leverages AI, you know, and has systems in place. And so I start to think of my business like as an actual business with systems and processes and standard operating procedures, and not just, you know, this 2-person, you know, shop that turns out really great stuff and my customers love it, but it's time intensive and it's inefficient. It's a little sloppy in that regard. And I do a lot of stuff, you know, from my heart, and you know, and I dream up stuff and I go into my little creative cocoon and I come out like a butterfly, you know. It's a whole process and it's very artsy. Ain't nobody got time for that. You know, the baby doesn't care.
Ain't nobody got time for it. Well, I will. There's a beautiful website that you built. I mean, you really put your heart into it. It's called KineticShift.com, KENETICSHIFT.com, Kinetic Shift. It came out amazing, Fenton. Amazing.
Thanks, man. Well, that was one of the website essentials, and that one didn't take very long. You know, so thanks for the opportunity. You know, but I started writing something down earlier. I was making an Instagram post, and it says,
which I see you've been going a little hard on now. I like it.
I'm trying to be consistent, man.
I'm loving seeing the presence on in Insta right now.
New year, new me. It says, the first slide says, I'm gonna post this later. It says, my kids don't care if I'm an introvert. My landlord doesn't care if I'm an introvert. The car loan people don't care if I'm an introvert. And then it goes on to list a bunch of people who don't care, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they don't care about my stuff. What they care about is whether they get what they need. And no one cares about my creative process. The bills just have to get paid. And, you know, that's what really forced me to rethink how I was going to do this again, be a stay-at-home dad. Because the first time with my first kid, I was a stay-at-home dad. And I built my business while having a baby sitting on my lap. I got the pictures and the videos to prove it. I used to post stuff online. It's like, this kid is here with me. And it's hard, bro. It's terribly difficult. But I did it. And the pain, and we talk about reflection, when we found out that we were pregnant, I was like, I don't want to go through that again. I want to have more time. I want to have more freedom. I want to have more passive income so that I could just focus on being a great dad and not have to make that decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I going to focus on the business or the kid? And so all that to say, you know, 2023 really taught me how to pivot. I felt like I've pivoted before, you know, like I started to write a book. It's called Plan to Pivot. Mm-hmm. And I thought I had pivoted before, in life, you know, but there's a difference between getting laid off from a job and like bringing new life into the world. You know, those are two completely different pivots. And so I'm really proud of putting the Website Essentials together. It's not like, you know, I'm not trying to plug my business. I'm proud that I
am.
That's what's up. As I'm wearing like myself, you know, like I'm proud of the fact that I acted. I took action. I said, I know what I want for my life and I know what I want for their lives. And I took the appropriate action. And now I'm in a place to capitalize on the action that I took. And, you know, you and other people that are close to me, it was very, very important to have a support system because it was a big lift. I was changing my business model completely. Mm-hmm. And not only was it not easy, I had resistance to it. I knew it needed to be done, but I didn't necessarily like want to do it. And so I think the best thing that I did was I actively, recruited people like you and family members and close friends to be like, yo, here's what I'm doing. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Help me to shape this thing. I got ideas, but my ideas are just my ideas. I don't ultimately know what people are going to want. I got to ask.
Right.
And I also ask people to hold me accountable. And you were definitely one of those people. I was like, yo, I have target dates, and I missed a lot of target dates. It's not like I was like, oh yeah, I'm just full steam ahead, making all my goals. Like I missed a lot of target dates. I pushed this stuff back. I said I was going to do stuff on a launch on a certain date, and didn't. I put stuff out on social media, reels and posts. It's coming soon, and it never came. You know what I mean? Like it was just really hard. But now that I've done a hard thing, I'm gonna leave pause in 2023. Now that I've done a hard thing, I know I have the confidence to know that when it's go time, I can put a plan in place and I have the right people behind me who are going to help me get across the finish line. And, I'm proud. I feel really great going into 2024. I thank you for asking, because I tried to leave it in 2023. I wasn't thinking about it, but I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud of my wife. I'm thankful for my wife, for supporting me through it and pushing me through it. When you do something that's really challenging, you have this feeling of accomplishment afterwards. It's like, it's scary when you look at it, you're like, how am I going to do that? And then you do it. And as Matt obviously having the baby, my wife having a baby, we're back on the grind, not sleeping. And
yeah, sounds right.
Your little one is how old?
My little one just turned 1. Right, so in the end of November. So he's I hate doing it. He's 23 months. No, he's 13 months now. So he's running. He's up. Man, he started walking into a crawl, getting up, falling down, and that's when he was like 8 months old, 9 months old. And then he started walking around like without falling, really. I mean, like 90%, 95% of the time just walking, right? Not running. And then like a week later, man, this kid's running and taking corners like he's Vin Diesel in a Dodge Charger, like taking corners, man. It's funny sometimes. Listen, anyone who doesn't have kids, get over it. If you have children, you can understand this. It's funny when little dude runs into a wall. It's hilarious.
We all have those moments.
Look, I don't want him to hurt himself. It's not that. But when he runs into a wall because he misjudged his step, it's the funniest thing ever. And he's cute. He looks at you. With me, I'm not checking. If I know he didn't hit his head, I know he's fine. I don't even bother looking.
You can tell by the screams or lack thereof.
So you're not looking. He's looking at me to see whether my reaction should he cry now. I mean, not with me. You better get up.
So you're in a different place.
I got some more recording to do.
Yeah. You're in a different place because my kid doesn't move right now. Like if I turn around, she's gonna be where I left her.
Right.
And so, that's another thing is that I have a timeline. You know what I'm saying? Like I have only a certain amount of time to make things happen before she's walking, crawling, running
everywhere.
And, when you're a parent, the first time it sneaks up on you. You turn around and a year goes by and they're running. Like this time I had a very clear idea. I was like, okay, while my wife is on maternity leave, that Q4 2023, like that is my opportunity to really knock this thing out the park, which is why I wish I had launched it earlier, but that's fine. And going into Q1, I'm like, I have a certain amount of time to be able to promote this thing, market the heck out of it, and make it a viable product before my wife goes back to work before the baby starts rolling around and isn't in the same place when I turn around. We have to keep in mind that like time is not our friend. It's not. Like you don't have time to waste. That is something that I know coming out of 2023, like, well, I learned it with my first kid, but like, again, rejiggering my business, like, don't have time to waste. I had to tell a lot of people no.
Yeah.
People wanted websites. I was like, no, I'm not going to work with you. It's not because I don't want to. It's because I need to focus on shifting my business to get in position for 2024. And that started in the summer of 2023. So like half the year, dog, I really just kind of focused on like one or two big clients. And I ended the year with one client, just one.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I had to make time to just build something. I had to make something out of nothing, build infrastructure.
Right. Take two steps back to make a giant leap forward kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, well, dude, it's like, what are you doing, Fenton? It's like, well, I'm building something. And I have, it's a business. I still got money coming in, so I have passive stuff and like hosting, and there's different parts of my business. So I was like, that was okay. But if you're not a squirrel out collecting those nuts, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're not an animal out there collecting for the winter time so that you can hibernate during the winter, like you're not going to have anything. You got to be you got to be ready for spring when winter comes. And that's the way I was looking at it. I was like, if I get ready in 2023, starting halfway through the year, then I'll be ready for an awesome 2024. But I had to have, experience in order to do that. So the last thing I'll say is, think about the long term. That's something that 2023 taught me, was think about the long term. It's long-term plays. If, there's in race car driving, if you're looking at the car in front of you or looking at like 20 feet, 30 feet in front of you, like you're probably going to crash because you don't have time to react. You're moving so fast. If you're doing 100 miles an hour, 150 miles an hour, you can't be looking immediately in front of you. You have to be looking down the track.
Right. Correct.
You need to be looking a quarter mile down, an eighth of a mile down the track to see what's coming, because it's coming so fast. It may look like it's far away, but you're moving so fast that by the time you get there, you don't have time to react. You miss the corner. You're off the track.
Right.
And that's the way that 2023 came for me. It was like, I'm not going day by day, week by week. I'm thinking in quarters. What's my Q4? What's my Q1? What's my Q2 2024 going to be? And those are the decisions that I'm making, in real time. And before you know it, it's January 3rd. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's it. See, you got to reflect, and you didn't want to even do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome. I'm proud of you, by the way.
Thanks.
Very
brother.
proud of you. You've come a long way, kid.
Just a wee lad. Grown into a man.
Look, I am very proud of myself. Again, I was sitting in the barbershop, sitting in a chair. I'm like, we have to reflect on 23. So we had the baby, our newest one, the end of 22. So really, we were celebrating more last year with him than anything else, because it was right after Thanksgiving, then December, then my daughter's birthday, then Christmas, then New Year's, and 22 was gone and 23 was here with a new baby in the house. I was switching jobs, but not careers, but jobs at that time also. We just passed our second year in the new home that we're in now. December 30th made 2 years. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Started Kinetic Shift. Actually, I was with one of my mentors today, Michael Villani. I was with him today for a good hour, just sitting down chatting, just catching up real quick in the new year, And he was asking me about it. Said, listen, one day just woke up, got in my journal, gave myself a deadline that morning, and 4 weeks later, I brought you up. I'm like, the guy I do the pod, he watches our podcast. Hi, Mike. So I was letting him know, Fenton has a graphic design company, Olive Branch Digital, helped me out with the website, and then everything else. Thankfully, I had opened a business before, multiple businesses, so I knew what I needed to do. Like you said, write it down. Mine was a little different. I was starting from scratch compared to taking my, you had your business already established, and now you were fighting yourself, like you were saying before, like kind of fighting yourself on, I want to revamp, but you were holding yourself back from revamping and pushing it off. And it was something fresh. So I was looking down in the distance. If you're not first, you're last, right? It was that Talladega Nights. Right. If you're not first, you're last. But you're right. You have to look forward. Look, if you're driving that fast, if you're moving that fast in life, you better be looking 10 steps forward to figure out something. It doesn't mean that's going to go right. What do they say? On your pathway to success, it's not a straight line. It's ups and downs, circles. You'll see the squiggly line diagrams people draw. Yeah, but you got to look forward to at least see some of the obstacles that you may hit. And thankfully, I had people in my corner when I was opening the Kinetic Shift, and now working on it, and now putting out the, I guess the footers out there, the feelers, so that people can see what's going on. It's has to do with business coaching and consulting, something I definitely have a passion for. You do hear people say all the time, do something that, you don't care about the money. Money's great. Don't get me wrong. Got 4 kids. The money is amazing. Yeah. But at the same time, do something or come up with something that you can do that you would do for free, right? Me coaching or consulting or mentoring, I do it for free anyway. I'm just taking it to another level of, all right, let's do some courses now. Forget the 20-minute conversations here and there, the 5-minute conversations. Let's set up a course so you have to do homework for yourself, and we can do real talks that are, an hour and a half, 2 hours long, and really get people to shift their energy or shift their brain patterns into a new direction and keep it moving forward. Or sometimes, like you said before, right? Sometimes, I made the comment when you were talking about it. Sometimes you have to take 2-3 steps back. Yeah. When you're pulling the the slingshot, you got to take that kinetic energy, right? And then you let go, and it releases, and that rock goes flying. So you got to pull it back in order to go forward. Yeah, with some real motion. So, I mean, that's what's going on. A couple of the things in my life right now that I'm not sharing just yet, but all positive and just moving forward, man. 24, that whole, new year, new me, stop. I've been doing it. I've been doing it. Sure. I will pat myself on the back. I don't need someone to do it for me. Thankfully, there are people in my corner like you, my wife, of course, people, friends and family, that do support and, give nice talks to me. Ken, you can do this. You got this. But in the end, you're on your own. When you're up at 2:00 at night, or you wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting in the dark by myself on the laptop. You're doing the same thing. I see you up sometimes 2-3 o'clock, on
a regular,
doing your thing, just doing your thing, and you're by yourself. Like you said, the bill collectors don't care. They don't care. They don't care. You better be on your grind.
Figure it out.
And anyone who hasn't come up with something, or you know what, just start. Yeah. We talk about this all the time. If you have an idea, you don't need an LLC to start a company. Right. That's legality stuff. Right. Start. What's the worst that happens?
People hide behind that. They hide behind their checklist of formalities. Well, I have to get my LLC, and I have to get my domain, and I got to get my EIN, and I got to get a bank account, and I got to do this and do that. It's like, or you could just start helping people. You could just start providing.
Right. That's the easy stuff, by the way. It. That's the easy stuff. Getting an LLC is easy. The internet has made it very easy. All right. They're not promoting us. LegalZoom.com. Have fun. They do it for you.
That's why I say that they hide behind it. and it's not a criticism. It's shining a light. I've been there. I've been there. I got a couple LLCs. I've started businesses. Yeah, there's some things you got to do, but it shouldn't stop you from it should be, what it really should be is that you're so busy doing the work and already providing the value and making an impact and hopefully making some money that, let me go back and get my LLC. Let me get a bank account. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, these days on social media, we talk about it like, go get your LLC and do your bank account and do all these things before you, because the idea of being an entrepreneur is just so prevalent these days. That conversation is just such a loud conversation. But if you ask me, really what it should be is, it should be you have an idea, you start executing on it, and now you need this structure to support it. All right, now we're gonna legitimize it on paper, but it first needs to be like legitimate in the real world, you know. So people have it backwards, I think, and that's part of, like you said, just do it. I think when you just go for it, you realize that, one, I think it's a lot more fun when the structure's not initially there and you're just like doing it. Like, you were already doing the coaching. You're already doing it. You know, you're already talking to people on almost a daily basis.
Yes.
Helping people solve problems, right? Helping people identify the places where they're lacking, where they need to improve, get more education, you know, make mindset changes, giving people frameworks. Like, you're already doing that. So then it makes sense. It's like, all right, well, if I'm doing that, now let me legitimize it on paper. Let me give it a name, a label, a tax ID number, you know, a pricing matrix. But I think people think, well, let me go put all that stuff together first and then go start doing the work. Like, that's crazy. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. You know,
that's the norm now.
Yeah,
that's the norm, because social media is telling everyone you got to do this, this, and this. Make sure. There's a funny one out there. It's like, get in the hills, wake up at 4:00 in the morning, don't drink any water. The guy spits out the water. He's like, now make sure you journal, but you can't use a blue pen. He's like,
that thing's really funny. It's really funny. It's like, it's stupid. Like, we're telling people to go be business people, and they have no idea what they want to do. It's like, no, go figure out what you want to do and start doing it, and then go form a business around it. You know, a business it's a structure, you know, like the work that I do is shining a light on other people so that the world can see how awesome they are. The business is website design, right? I do that all the time. Like, whether I'm not building websites or doing graphic design or branding or whatever, like, that's what I'm doing. Just talking to people. I always say I was a terrible employee because I was too busy talking to other people about what they wanted to do, my coworkers, about what they wanted to go do in the world for real. It's like, if you weren't here, you know, behind this desk, what would you actually be doing? What value would you actually be providing to the world? And hyping people up and being like, oh, you can do this. You can. Did you know that this person does that? Da, 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 da. You know, and it's like,
get out there and be someone.
Go do the thing that you actually love to do. Go live your gift. And that is my gift, is shining a light on other people. I happen to do that through websites in 2023 or 2024, whatever. So I built a business around it, but I was doing the work already. That's the part that people have twisted. It's backwards. It's like, oh, start a business to go do what? And then you don't know what to do, and your business fails because you weren't doing the work. You got to be doing the work.
Right. You know what? I was actually putting a lot of work in for Skeen Concepts too, towards the end of the year. A lot of that's the woodworking company my wife and I have, skeenconcepts.com. Yes, I'm promoting. A lot of charcuterie boards, a lot of cutting boards. Man, it's definitely stepped up. You know what, 23 I can reflect on? Really stepped up the what's it called for social media? Content creation. Really stepped that up.
You went into beast mode.
Yo, I'm having fun with that. I'm having a lot of fun with content creation.
All right, here's what I'm going to say.
What's up?
You really surprised me because I didn't think that you were going to be as into it as you are. You know, like you're a very smart guy. I know you're a smart guy, but you kind of came off as like, oh, I don't know how to do this. I can't do it. You know, like I'm like, Ken is one of the brightest people that I know. So when you finally, I think, you know what it was? I'm going to give myself credit for this because I think I kind of just like forced you to do it. It was like, well, I'm not doing any of this stuff. It's like, I don't have the time to post stuff. I don't have time to do the editing. That's the reason why we have this two, guys up on the screen at the same time. We don't change camera angles. We just typically usually wear black shirts. Like I have so much stuff going on that we needed to make this as simple as possible so that we can hit record. I can edit it super quick, throw a LUT on it and put the what do you call it? The title at the end, at the beginning and the end, and upload that sucker to YouTube and just be done. And you completely took over. Like you completely took over, like running the TikTok, running the Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Like pushing for the website, like all that stuff was on you. And I'm super proud. I'm also not surprised because I know that you can handle it. But yeah, you've been crushing it, bro. You've made me feel bad about my output. Once again, you've inspired me.
Stop.
I know social, but I've been being lazy. I'm 100%. I've been being lazy. And I was like, you know what? Ken is out here crushing it on TikTok, crushing it on Instagram. I got to get busy. So, again, you've inspired me to up my game.
I saw, man. I'm looking. I'm watching. All the blessings, bro. All the blessings. I see you out there for the past. I think it's been probably like within the last week. Your content has been just, you stepped your game up.
Thanks.
You went from like the right lane, the guy in the middle lane who's doing like 50 and the 65. Now you in the HOV lane. I got my own lane, baby.
Zero to hero, man. But it happens that quick. People need to understand, like, it really can't happen that quick. You really just have to make up the decision in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I'll just keep going back to the losing the weight. Like you completely crushed it. I was like, dang, like he lost how many pounds already? And my shock wasn't from, like, it's not like it's not physically possible. You know what I'm saying? And not like, like taking Ozempic over there. It's that your consistency. I've lost a lot of weight before. I know that it can be done. I know exactly what to do, but I wasn't being consistent. I wasn't being disciplined. And I was like, it's discipline. I said, that is tremendous and that is awesome. And people need to understand, you can, it's January, this is January 3rd. By June 3rd, you can see tremendous gains, make tremendous progress. By December 3rd, by December 31st, you can have a completely different life. But you got to be super disciplined and super consistent. And that's where I was like, all right, I'm not going to have my partner show me up. I'm not going to be the weak link. I'm going to get back on my grizzly and, your prize is in the mail, by the way.
Are you serious?
I wasn't going to say nothing, but I figured you should know. It's in the mail.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
bro. You know what, man? The journey, the prize is dope. You know what? I'm gonna cherish it, and to the audience, that's for me. That I'm keeping that one for me. The prize is the prize. Yeah. The journey, bro. Let me tell you something. I put a reel up on my personal Instagram because I have the two different accounts. And the reel was showing me probably like 5 years ago, and then. It's quick. It was maybe a 30-second reel, but it was, just showing. Yeah, you saw it, man. I was 315 pounds in that first picture. 315 pounds, man. I don't know. My wife says I didn't look sick. I think I look sick. And then it goes through, and then by like the third picture, it's the picture of me handing the key over to the new owners of the house we had sold 2 years ago. In that picture, you can really see my shape, And I was like, wow, man. But even in that, it wasn't like I was blind to it. I knew I was, I was heavy. I was a heavy boy, and my asthma was always acting up, and you could see the dark spots under my eyes. So one of the best things we did was say, hey, let's see who can lose the most weight. This weight challenge thing.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I know what to do.
Right.
I used to, I've had a 6-pack. I used to do, now no people won't believe this. I used to do 1,500 push-ups a day and 1,000 sit-ups a day, 6 days a week. And that was just routine. People were like, how could you do that? Well, if you're used to doing it on a daily basis, it's not how, it's just you do it.
Right.
You just do it. You do 1,500 push-ups throughout the day. It's really not that hard. You do 1,000 sit-ups throughout the day. It's really not that hard, especially if you do it, again, on a daily basis.
Yeah.
How does someone go from jogging 1 mile to jogging a marathon, New York City Marathon? Consistency, right?
Mm.
So I started doing that, started my intermittent fasting and stopped drinking alcohol. Like, not that I drank a lot anyway, but alcohol shuts your system down. You don't get to digest anything. Your body's trying to get out poison. That alone right there made me lose a lot of weight. Mm. But the prize is dope. The journey is even more fun. The prize is dope. I'm going to cherish it, by the way. Like, I sent you a post the other day saying, if you get this kind of a gift from one of your friends, that's like one of those gifts that you actually really cherish. And I will.
Man. Well deserved. It's very well deserved. I was happy to make that purchase, and I figured out very early on that you were going to win. It was mindset. It was a mental challenge. This was not a physical challenge. This was a mental challenge. And you just had a stronger mindset than I did. It's funny because now I'm on it, but I had to get my mind there. The body will follow. So I think probably by like November, I was like, I'm gonna be buying this guy a watch. I was like, just send me the link, bro. Let me know where.
Bro, we did an episode. I think it was the second week of December, maybe the first week of December. And before we hit record, you're eating a cookie, and it was like 9 a.m., like 10 a.m. He's just eating a cookie. I'm like, all right, man, are you trying? And then you put the cookie down, and you must have had a piece of chocolate next to you because you picked up the chocolate, and you're like, yo, just pick out which one you want, man.
Yeah.
You're like, just pick whatever one you want. Just. I was like, wow, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. I was like, I'm not catching you. And in my heart, I guess I didn't want it. I didn't want it bad enough. Just for context, the winner of the challenge, y'all got a watch. We initially decided like go to the Movado store online and pick out any watch up to $500. And everyone's financial situation is different. So like $500 may not seem like a lot. It may seem like a lot, whatever. But it was something that we both felt was like a good motivator, to close out the year. And we both wanted to win that. And I did want to legitimately win. I did. But I think it was probably more for the watch and not for the change. Because I've just been like, buying watches and into watches lately and all that stuff. So I was like, that was the thing. I think, was I the one who suggested the watches?
Yes, you were.
Right?
Because we were trying to figure out because we figured out a monetary thing. And I said, dinner. I was like, oh, do a steak dinner. That should cost us about that much money.
Right.
Again, everyone's finances is different, but I'm going on my buddy to a steak dinner. We're not going to go to Fridays. Right. We're going to a steakhouse, right, where sides do not come with your meal.
Hey.
And then you suggested a watch, and which made more sense because then you can actually look. I got my trophy. I'm holding it. It's mine. Like, you can remember it. Steaky. You just you're gonna go through your digestive tract, and that's the end of that. The memory is nice though, but we do those anyway. But yeah, that was a good suggestion, by the way. Good suggestion.
It was great. I loved it. Again, I think I was more in love with the watch and not with the journey. I'm very much into the journey right now. I was going through like old clothes and stuff, and I put some stuff in storage, and I was like, I'm gonna fit back into those, But just going through those old clothes was like, man. For one, I was like, I have really good taste. I got some really great stuff that I can't wait to fit into again. But two, it reminded me that I can do it. Right. I was like, I can do it. I've done it before. I could do it again, and I look forward to it. It's just another thing that this year is going to bring.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, people, yes, I did start off at 315 5 years ago. When we started this journey, I was 287?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm down to 253. The last image was 255, but I had eaten, and I was like, let me just take the picture. I already know I won.
take a picture with a plate in your hand.
I was like, yeah, whatever, man. I'm down to 253. Effective yesterday, I have started another 30-day cleanse. So going through the month of January, planning on losing another 15 pounds to get down to 240. Mm-hmm. And the ultimate goal is going to be 205, fluctuate between those pounds. And that's where I'll be. I know I'll be a lot healthier. Right now I am. I was out playing soccer with my 8-year-old. This had been right before Christmas, so probably a couple of days before Christmas. There's like a baseball field, a little, like maybe a 2-minute drive down from the house. So he plays soccer there during the in the summertime every Sunday, and took the nets down, took the ball. I'm running around with him for like 45 minutes. I'm not sweating. I'm not out of breath.
Right.
Like able to run around with my kid.
That's amazing.
Before, man, I would go up a staircase and like,
go have fun, enjoy yourself, kiddo.
Like I'll be sitting. I'm gonna sit over there.
I'll be in the car.
Go kick that ball around, kid.
That's the best. That's the best feeling, is like being able to do those things and know that you're gonna be around. You know, I always tell you all the time, like, you look great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy to see that change in you. I want to see that change for myself, and just go back to feeling like my normal self again. People don't realize when you're walking around with an extra 30, 40, 50 pounds on you, like, it really weighs on you, no pun intended. It weighs on your joints. You know, it makes it harder to walk, harder to breathe. You get tired more easily. There's all kinds of things going on inside of your body that you don't see, you know, that your doctor's going to tell you about. Like, you need to lose some weight, knock it off. And just having more energy. You know, when you exercise, you have more energy. When you eat right, you have more energy. The good foods give you energy. And so I look forward to that. Having a kid definitely also impacted, you know, me. You know, you stay up late, you don't sleep as much. When you're in shape and you're eating right, even if you're not getting as much sleep, you still have, you know, more energy. And so I just want to feel better, you know, while we're going through like the newborn phase and all that other stuff and beyond. So I will be joining you, my man. I'm looking forward to bringing sexy back. You know what I'm saying? Go get some new headshots, start modeling again.
I remember those. Yeah. A handsome fella.
Somewhere under all this flub.
Stop. But man, look, I'm very happy I decided to go with this topic with reflection because it just needed to be talked about.
Yeah, me too.
You had a little bit of pushback, but you went right in. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad.
This is the topic I never knew I needed.
But
didn't want but needed.
Listen, it's a kinetic shift, baby. All right, it's a kinetic shift. It needs to be spoken. Right.
Hey, and you know, for anyone who is watching, you know, it's okay to talk about yourself, you know, in a positive way. It's good to promote yourself. You know, one of the things that I know that you know after getting into the social media promotion heavy, and something that I know for sure is that no one knows if you don't say anything. You know, if you don't tell people what you got going on, like, no one's gonna know. You think about, you just scroll through your friends' timelines, you know, stuff pops up, you scroll past it, you may double tap, you might not. And it's like, you're not really paying attention to what people are doing. And you may have people that are close to you, you don't know what they do for a living these days. You know, maybe people from high school or college, you're like, I don't know where they're living. I don't know what part of the country they're in. Like, we're seeing each other. We know we're alive. But people, if you don't always know what people got going on. So you have to say it. You got to speak up. And that's why, you know, we do the heavy promotion with, you know, products of circumstance, with my stuff and kinetic shift, because you got to let people know what's going on. There's nothing wrong. And as a matter of fact, it's incumbent. This is a good thing going into 2024. Like, if you haven't been speaking up, highlighting yourself and talking about your stuff, like, you got to open your mouth, because otherwise nobody's going to know. And if nobody knows, they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to hire you. They're not going to, you know, do whatever. So Don't be scared to promote yourself.
Very nice. Very nice.
You know?
Okay. This is my old t-shirt company, but yeah.
Come on,
I got
man.
a bunch of these. Code 13, but it's no longer.
That's right. It was. All right, listen, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share with somebody on their personal development journey. Tap in the comment section. Let us know what you are bringing out of 2023 into 2024. What are you leaving behind?
Yes.
Share your reflections, and we'd love to hear from you. And we'll talk to you soon. Deuces. Peace.